Every culture remembers dragons. From China to Europe, from the Americas to Africa, stories of massive reptilian beasts fill human history. They weren't imagined in one place and spread like a rumor. They appear independently across the globe. That's not myth, that's memory. The creatures they describe are unmistakable. Huge, reptile-like, armored with tails, claws, wings, and sometimes even fire. Cultures separated by oceans and centuries recorded the same kind of beast. If stories were inventions, we'd expect variety. Instead, we see agreement. The dragons of history look suspiciously like the dinosaurs of science. Ancient people didn't just tell stories, they drew what they saw. Stone carvings, cave drawings, tapestries, and pottery all depict men and beasts together. Creatures with long necks, scaled bodies, or winged forms stand alongside humans in art from cultures that supposedly never saw dinosaurs. They weren't making guesses about bones buried in the ground. They recorded living encounters. Even modern science has uncovered inconvenient evidence. Fossils thought to be millions of years old have yielded red blood cells, soft tissue, and collagen. Under a microscope, the tissue is still flexible. Cells are still recognizable. Some bones weren't even fully fossilized, still containing proteins and organic matter. That's not the signature of something extinct for 65 million years. That's the signature of something recent. The evidence matches the memory. History also records living interaction. In China, dragon feeders were official positions in the imperial court, people tasked with tending real creatures. The Chinese calendar even includes the dragon, listed alongside 11 completely ordinary animals. Why would they insert a mythical beast into a practical calendar? Because it wasn't mythical to them. Europe spoke of knights slaying dragons. Explorers reported native tribes describing giant reptiles in rivers. Marco Polo recorded dragons pulling the emperor's chariot in processions. These weren't random fantasies. They were observed events. Scripture itself gives testimony. The Book of Job describes Behemoth, a massive grass-eating creature. Its bones are like bars of iron, its strength unmatched. Most telling, he moves his tail like a cedar. No elephant or hippo fits that description. A sauropod, enormous, long-necked, grazing with a tail like a tree trunk, fits perfectly. Job also describes Leviathan, a terrifying sea creature, impossible to subdue, leaving men in fear. It even breathes fire. That's no whale or crocodile. It matches the memory of giant marine reptiles. Artifacts tell the same story. The Ica stones of Peru show humans riding and hunting dinosaur-like creatures. Cambodian temples display carvings that look exactly like a stegosaurus. Native American petroglyphs depict long-necked reptiles alongside men. Cultures didn't conspire to invent the same drawings. They carved what they saw. The consistency of description is impossible to ignore. From the Far East to medieval Europe to tribal America, the story repeats. Giant reptiles, feared and respected, often hostile, always awe-inspiring. If they were mere myths, the stories would diverge. Instead, they converge. The creatures may be given different names, but they share the same form. Atheism dismisses dragons because its timeline demands extinction millions of years before humans. Human memory, cultural records, artwork, fossils with preserved tissue, artifacts, and scripture all tell another story. People saw these beasts. They lived alongside mankind. They were remembered, described, and feared. The truth is simple. Dragon stories aren't myth, but history. They are mankind's record of encounters with the creatures we now call dinosaurs. Scripture, culture, and science converge. The only myth is the modern timeline that denies it.